What's happening, y'all? It is your girl, Carla. Oh, welcome back to the channel. This is Worth Beyond Circumstance. How y'all doing? I hope you guys had a good Mother's Day. I hope so. For those who celebrate, happy Mother's Day. Excuse me. Um, for those who don't, that do not celebrate, you still cool anyway, but it's always good to be recognized, whether you celebrate or not. I'm not a huge person on holidays, but I do realize that holidays can be cool. It's what you make of them. Um, so yeah, happy Mother's Day to you. And if you was at work, bitch, go and make that money, honey, okay? Because you still cool. You just had to work. Mhm. So, anyways, today we are going to talk about how to get back on track after falling off. This right here is something that I actually still use. Okay. I'm actually implementing some of these practices today. I've been having to implement these practices a lot more often in my routine as, I'm not perfect. I'm right here with y'all trying to be better every single day. But this is really important because as a single parent, we tend to lose ourselves. I'm not even gonna say as a mother in general. I can't speak for you, but as a mother in general, we tend to lose ourselves in our family so much that it's like falling off of a moving bus and having a hard time getting back on that bitch. Okay. So today I have a couple of things that can help you get back on track. If you don't need this, bitch, good for you. This video ain't for you. There's a couple other videos you can go look at on the channel. You don't have to sit this one out. Okay. So to start, it is the utmost important that you are open and honest with yourself. Yeah, girl. Yeah, open and honest with yourself. And not that, oh yeah, I've been lazy, I need to get back on it. But no, like, but why are you really being lazy? It's really, really important to understand the cause of why you fell off in the first place. And I feel that a lot of times we don't sit and have them conversations honestly with ourselves because we are too busy trying to hide from ourselves. We don't understand the root reason. Okay. Was it a life event? Did you go through a breakup? Has your friend group been a little bit too toxic? Do you need to kick them hoes to the curb? Do you need to put these bitches on timeout? Okay. Um, are you just being lazy? You just don't want to go no more. You think you too cute. You think some of that back fat then fell off a little bit and you too cute, and all of a sudden you didn't gain some weight again. It happens, sis. I get it. I get it. I do. Okay. What about an overwhelming schedule? Like, we tend to pack our days with so many things that our day can get super overwhelming. Have we forgot about putting ourselves first? That we're putting everybody else first before ourselves? Have we forgot our priorities? Have we stopped operating from a place of discipline? Like, these are all things that are really important that we need to recognize. And not only are we recognizing those things, we're able to go back and be like, okay, sis had a breakup. How did that breakup affect her mentally? All right, what things does she need to work on? You know, how do we get back on track? Or, you know, maybe this schedule's been very overwhelming. What things do we need to implement in order to not um get to that point anymore? How are we showing up to these spaces, knowing that we have a foundation in our day? How do we show up to these spaces while still keeping some of these things, going? So this is really a lot of things that we don't necessarily think of because it's not something that's in the forefront. It's just something that really just happens. But I find it to be really important because it allows you to recognize how it showed up for you, how a breakup affected you, how an overwhelming schedule affected you, how laziness, how you're lacking discipline, how all of these things affected you. So that way, the next time it happens, you recognize the patterns. So that way, you can move a little bit differently. We got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready out here. And the more that you know, the more you grow. Okay. So, second, along with getting back on track, is that you got to forgive yourself. Whatever the case may be, you got to forgive yourself for what it is that you experience, whether it's the breakup or the laziness or the lack in discipline or the whatever. You have to forgive yourself in order to move past it. And I think that this is comes into play a lot when you really start thinking about the underlining factors of why you gave up your discipline in the first place. Okay. So it's really important to forgive yourself. Like, especially as mothers, we are vilified by the world. Okay. We the only ones out here really trying to do right and got people's back like a bra strap. But we out here getting flamed everywhere we go. Like, you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to understand and you have to stand on your square, letting people know that, like, it is what it is. Okay. And with that being said, you got to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made with yourself and be gentle. Okay. Once you learn to understand and accept those things, baby, we are on our way. That is halfway through what it is we got to do. Okay. After that, it's time to lock in and commit to a goal. All right. What is your goal? Are you looking to make sure that you get back on a routine at home? Are you looking to shed a few pounds? Are you looking to start a project and you really want to lock in for X amount of days so that way you can get things done, get the ball rolling? You know, are you looking for a new job? How committed are you to finding this new job? You know, are you looking to implement self-care, more self-care? We gotta, what is the goal? All right, write it down and make it plain. That's the first thing that we got to do. We got to write down the goal of what it is that we want, you know, and after that, we got to commit in a different way. And a lot of you guys are not going to like this one, but it's so important that you learn to have some discipline about yourself and stop making excuses for the things that you don't want to do. And this is the part I feel like a lot of people really lack is the process of elimination. What is it that you need to give up in order for you to make space for the things that you're trying to get? For me, honestly, social media is the first thing to go. Social media is always the first thing to go because I'm not big on social media. Like, I have my phases where I'm in and out. Sometimes I go on because I get bored, but I get so overstimulated by people sometimes that social media is the easiest thing for me to cut out because the background noises of other people, the thoughts of other people, the endless hours of scrolling. Like, what? I don't care enough about y'all. Sorry to know what you're doing in your day. And I can be locked in going to this gym. Yeah. So, what else can you get rid of? Is your day super hectic? Like, what is it that you can eliminate in your day? You know, can you get up earlier? I get up at 4 o'clock every morning just to make things happen, just to make sure that I can accomplish my goal of going to the gym. I have to, you know. It goes back to my last video. What are your non-negotiables? You got to set the tone for your day. What are you giving up? You got to give up food. What kind of food you giving up? You giving up fast food? You giving up them snacks? You drinking a little bit more water? Like, you got to give something up in order to replace it with something better. Um, what else? I said you want to add something positive. So I have notes here if you guys are wondering. Y'all know I got my notes because if not, I'll go off on a tangent. But anyways, process of elimination and then what are you adding in positive to your day? It could be one or two things. Like, if you like to drink or if you like to participate in extracurriculars, maybe not do that for a week or two, to eliminate to see how you feel. So, um, maybe working out again, or you like meal prepping. For me, meal prepping is huge. If I don't meal prep, bitch, I'm eating everything. I'm eating it all because I love the food. So, or even self-care, journaling, adding something new to help you get to where regardless of what it is that you're adding in, it needs to benefit you. You need to be able to see it every day to remind you of your goal. Like I said, see the view, write it down, make it plain so that way you can accomplish it. All right. Um, and that leads me into the next thing. You got to have something that's going to hold you accountable every single day. Are you writing it on your bathroom mirror? Are you having little sticky notes taped to your purse? Do you have a reminder on your phone? Do you carry a planner around where you can check the box? I am a check the box type person, bitch, especially if you are a Virgo, bitch, get you a planner. Write stuff down. Get back into your routine. Make sure your habits are on point. This is the only way that you can do it. And do this shit for like 30 days. I promise you, you will see a difference. Okay. Um, And I think a lot of times, like, it's so easy to say, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to write it down and all of these things. But if you do not visualize the thing that you have in mind, the goal that you have, the end goal, you are not. You are not going to do it. That you can say that you want to lose weight so bad, like I want it so bad, but if you do not actually feel that in your heart and your soul, and you're actually making it happen, you have to make it connect. Okay. And that brings me to my next point, the very last thing, create a goal. What is your end goal? Is it 30 days? Is it 21 days? Some people might take it a little bit slower. I need to see something within 2 weeks. I just need to be say I need to be able to show myself that I can keep up with this for 2 weeks, you know? 2 weeks. But it doesn't matter how long it is, you need to commit to a goal. We need to do more than a week because we at this big age, we know that we need to do something longer than a week in order for it to stay. And if we really being honest, 21 days to 30 days is probably where you need to be at. But I realize some of you guys don't have no discipline in your life, and it might be hard to do those things. So we want to have grace with ourselves, but we also want to hold ourselves accountable to things because as mothers, we cannot be out here expecting our children to do certain things and we not moving in that same manner. Okay. So set you some goals for a decent amount of time. Give yourself some time to work with. I promise you, it is going to build so much confidence you're going to build so much confidence within yourself. Okay. What else? Maybe at the end of your 30 days, you know, go do a little self-care. Go get that wax. Go um I don't know, go get that purse, go buy you a shirt, something. But you want to be able to reward yourself in this process because it gives you something to look forward to. Write your goals down, write what it is that you get at the end of it, and then give yourself something to work towards. For me, I'm always booking a trip. I'm always doing something for myself. I don't go on trips as often anymore, but like I said, I work 2 hours away. So what I'll do is like, hey, in 30 days, I'm gonna go to this concert or in 30 days, I'm going to go to such and such place. And it allows me to show up in my best self. So I'm going to share a little something before I end this. Okay. My goal right now is to be able to shed 20 pounds by the end of August. I am going to the Black Rodeo, baby. I'm going. And I'm trying to be naked outside. Not really, but really. I am trying to show off all of this hard work that I put in over the summer. I've been slacking over the last few months, and this is what I'm going to do. So that gives me something to look forward to because, bitch, I'm back outside. I ain't been outside in a minute. So things like this will help you lock in, okay? Really feel the vision, give yourself time to accomplish your goal, because we're not perfect, and when we do mess up, we want to be able to give ourselves the space to forgive ourselves. In the instance that you are falling off or that you do fall off, okay? So anyways, girls, that is my getting back on track after falling off. I hope something in this video helped you. Remember, you are always worthy. Stop listening to these folks tell you who you are, who they think that you are, what they think that you deserve when they don't even know themselves. Okay? Anywho's, be well, y'all. Peace.